This is Otaku no Video, Episode 15. Funimation rules the roost.
Alright, so first thing on the list is a recent news story. The U.S. Senate Committee has approved a new net copyright bill called the Enforcement of Intellectual Property Rights Act of 2008. Which I love how these things sound so dry. But the section of the Act will allow the Justice Department to bring civil lawsuits against intellectual property infringers on behalf of content owners. So basically, if the Justice Department sees intellectual property abuse, they can bring a civil suit against the abusers on behalf of content owners, presumably without any interference from anyone else, so to speak. It seems kind of weird to do this. I have to question if the Justice Department sees intellectual property infringement, I would think it would be able to do something anyway. I mean, it certainly seems in the past that folks have been able to leap onto this without much trouble. Maybe I'm misremembering things. I'm just kind of I'm surprised that there needs to be something for the Senate to do, or for the Justice Department to do. It should be pointed out that this has not gone before the Senate yet fully, so it's not law or anything yet, but it's certainly under investigation, and it's already been edited a few times. So folks are looking at it actively. But I don't know, what do you guys think of this?
Well, first I should say that I don't think it's going to pass.
Agreed.
I think this is probably going to die, although that may be wishful thinking on my part. But the thing that really is a problem for me for this is basically we are saying we're going to spend federal taxpayer dollars so that the Justice Department can act as the personal police of Hollywood.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, so that now Hollywood doesn't have to hire their own lawyers all the time to take care of these horrible, stupid copyright suits that get filed. Now the Justice Department can do it for them and save them some money. So I have a big problem with that, and I think that it's, as the copyright holder, it is your responsibility to defend it. That's always been the case with copyright, is that, in fact, built into copyright law is the if you don't defend it, you lose it attitude. Meaning that I think that pretty much says you got to watch your own copyrights, guys. It's yours to do. So,
but Eric, aren't you, as a loyal American, very concerned every time you see a copy of The Matrix go out on the internet? Don't you think it is your duty as a taxpayer to support the taking down of that 14-year-old file uploader?
Clearly, it's a threat to American security and must be dealt with immediately, because there really isn't anything better for the Justice Department to be doing. And we obviously know that the passing of this law is going to result in increased Justice Department budgeting, so that we're not actually drawing from other resources for this.
No.
So people won't be pulled off of real cases like terrorism or anything, so that they can investigate copyright infringement for the Matrix. So surely this is going to have no bad effect on anything. And I think this is just another way of trying to legitimize something that really is borderline illegitimate anyways. A lot of the kinds of suits they're filing. I mean, this is, they're going to keep pushing it as far as they can, and let's face it, they have a lot of money to lobby with. So that's why this kind of stuff gets passed. Like I said, this is such. I think the we're going to be your personal police aspect of this is probably what's going to get it shot down in full Senate and full House voting time. It's just, I can't see people looking at this and going, oh yeah, this is how we need to be spending Justice Department resources. Although it kind of scared me that the Judiciary Committee, who you'd think would be the entire point of going, no, wait a second here. No. But I'm wondering if this is kind of passed to say we did what we could and now it's going to die quietly.
Yeah.
But I think short answer is I think it's a terrible idea, but I don't think it'll make it. So.
Yeah, probably won't get passed, but I don't know that it's... Okay, let's put it this way. I think this would be a lot of help if things were really going down the tubes, but seeing as Hollywood is not totally screwed in a lot of different ways,
right.
I think it's, this is unneeded. It's totally unnecessary. Although I would be interested in, whether or not the economy has anything to gain if the... whatever it is, if the Justice Department were able to carry out these things. I don't have any idea what the numbers would look like if they would be able to if more money would be coming into the country rather than the amount of expenses that we'd be using to pay for people to peruse the internet and look for, who knows what being shared. But yeah, it's they act like everything's going to hell and it's not. So.
Right. Yeah.
And let's face it, the economic woes as of right now are not really affecting Hollywood so much. They're actually making, in fact, at a certain point during an economic downturn, movies actually do better because people are looking for something to do, and it's a cheaper date than going out to a restaurant or something. So, so actually, Hollywood is doing fine right now. If they want to find some way of Justice Department civil suiting us into buying stuff at Target, and that may help. But I don't think that they're really going to affect much of anything money-wise. And let's face it, this is no matter what legal things people have done to try to stomp down copyright infringement, it's had next to no effect. Yeah. So, and that's really, I think, the most important thing to look at is this is just ineffective. It doesn't even matter whether it's right or wrong to be doing this. It's just plain ineffective. There's got to be another strategy you can employ because this one isn't working.
And it's one of the big issues is that, to a great degree, the cat is out of the bag on this. I'm reading a great book called The Hacker Crackdown by Steve Gibson. It's a nonfiction book about the Great Hacker Crackdown of 1990, which was when the various law enforcement sort of really did a lot of stuff against hackers. Eric, did you recommend this one to me?
No, this one's not me.
Okay, it may have been Brendan. But it says, or he writes about, in fact, one of the reasons for it was that a major hacker magazine ended up publishing an internal AT&T document about how to access the public 911 emergency system, and basically how to rearrange it any way you wanted to. And that was when law enforcement really got interested in saying, whoa, this is people can die if you change this. And it was distributed in this very laissez-faire way of just saying, well, do whatever you want to it. And so the law enforcement started trying to stop distribution of this. And so that's when they started going to hackers and confiscating equipment and so forth, because it was, as they put it, it was a public security concern. The problem was this went out in Freak, the electronic magazine for hackers, and that was distributed to 150 different sites, which then were distributed to however many people were on that particular node. So the cat was out of the bag. There was no getting it back. That 911 document was out there, and as they quickly discovered, no matter how many systems they seized, no matter how many accounts they froze, whatever, it was going to live forever. And I think that's one of the issues now with illegal downloading and illegal distribution. Actually, not illegal downloading. Because one of my frustrations with this is I wish the Justice Department or whoever, if they want to stop these things, if they wouldn't spend more time talking about the issues of this and sort of educating the public. It's silly public service announcements like, you wouldn't steal a car, so don't steal a movie, doesn't really make any difference. But I wish there was more, for lack of a better word, social engineering around talking to people about, this is what's going on with distribution of this.
Yeah, I think that when it comes down to this, it's too hard to stomp out unless you want to destroy the infrastructure to do it. So unless someone is willing to utterly change the nature of the internet, and in a way that would probably do more harm to the industries that are trying to stop this than good, then there's really nothing to be done to stop it, because you